Welcome back, everybody. We have been stacking up guests here at the $1 Million Landscaper podcast, and today we are super excited to be talking to Jack Justice. He is the CEO of Ramblin' Jackson, and he is actually based out of Colorado. We had to reschedule this because he had to evacuate because it's on fire. So, Jack, is the family safe? Everybody okay? How's it going out there in Colorado?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Katie. Pleasure to be here. And yeah, I'm safe. My family's safe. My house is safe. There are several huge forest fires happening right now in Colorado, and one of them is very near to my house. So we evacuated just proactively. It wasn't a mandated evacuation, but it was
smart.
It was kind of close, and I have young kids, and it would have just been kind of freaky for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be terrifying. I was actually, I was a wildland firefighter 20 years ago. Haven't done it in quite some time. But even fighting fire on a smaller scale it can be really scary. So that was really smart of you. So you don't scar your children.
Yeah. It's and the smoke alone from it, there are,
oh, sure.
I read somewhere that these smoke clouds are 40,000 feet tall. They look like Hiroshima or something. If you look at the photos online, it's called the Troublesome Fire. The East Troublesome Fire is one of them, and it exploded in a day over, I'm pretty sure it's over 125,000 acres the last time I looked, and that happened within a matter of days. It was just an enormous explosion. So thank you for you and the other firefighters and the police and everybody else who is, obviously you're not working on this fire, but the fire community has been amazing in Colorado, and really grateful to have those people working on this.
Oh, I bet. That's because when I was doing wildland firefighting, it was in Kentucky and Tennessee. So we were fighting fires that were like 1,000 acres. That it didn't really ever get that big. Yeah, much smaller scale. So like I said, I can't even imagine. And even now, Scott's a structural firefighter, and I still, I am a burn boss. And so I like prescribed burns. And so we don't get wildfires. But we're here in Indiana, so it is nothing on that kind of scale, but it can get a little crazy and scary even around here when you're just lighting up a couple hundred acres. So it's actually it's a running joke. Like if he's, at the station and they're getting the call, that the county's lighting things up, they're like, Molchan, your wife's at work. So
yeah, she starts and I put them out. So.
Oh, good.
Nice.
That's a good deal.
Yeah,
that's a good business model. If this whole podcast thing doesn't work out, you could just start fires and he'll put them out.
It's really kind of indicative of our entire life, and maybe in our marriage a little bit. So, but anyway, I'll toss it to Scott here because I'll hijack the whole podcast and talk about fire dependent, ecosystems for the whole time. So I will try not to do that.
But no, we're super excited to have Jack here. He, like Katie said, he is the CEO of Ramblin' Jackson. He is an author of Get Found Online. If you haven't read that book, definitely want to download it. If you can get it on Amazon and through your website too, correct?
Yeah, you can get it online at landscapingbook.com. You can get it, and I'd be happy to send it to you. For anyone who's listening, you can go ahead and grab it at landscapingbook.com. Or you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, you can, right? But
but go to landscapingbook.com.
Yeah, go to landscapingbook.com. And
we'll put it in the show notes. Yeah.
Right.
Yep, and he's also a speaker. He actually just got done speaking at Landscapes 2020 too.
Yeah, I just finished speaking at the NALP's Landscapes virtual event, which was their virtual adaptation of what their segment of landscapes is typically part of the GIE Expo. I've presented there the last 3 years, and it went really well. I did a Zoom with Champions, which is they have like a breakfast with Champions mastermind type thing. So I did that. And I also did a recorded talk about how to use digital marketing for recruiting. And so, yeah, it went well. There was a good turnout, and they overall did a great job putting together a virtual conference, amazing, way that they just shifted gears quickly to put that show on. It's really good.
Very cool. Very cool. Now we're super excited to hear. And today we want to get into websites, because that's one of your specialties at Ramblin' Jackson, correct?
Yeah, we help lawn and landscapers build websites, design, build, write all of the content, do the search engine optimization to, like the title of my book, Get Found Online. But more importantly than getting found online is actually you can use your website to qualify customers and more importantly, disqualify customers. That was a lot of what I talked about in my mastermind meeting today, was how you can use your website to attract people who want to buy what you actually do, and then weed away people who either they need a service you don't offer, or maybe the budget isn't a fit. You can do that before they even call you through your website.
Yeah, that's huge, because so many landscapers go out and waste so much time trying to follow up on leads and find it doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah. Well, and you know, Scott, not only is it a waste of time for the landscaper to go and meet with an unqualified lead, it's also likely a negative experience for the homeowner or the commercial client, whoever it is, if they find out after scheduling a meeting and showing up to that meeting that, oh, we're way off on budget. That can be a negative, that can create negative word of mouth. Whereas I believe if you start putting pricing, if you help people understand how to buy landscaping through your website, that first phone call is going to go way better, and that first appointment is going to be way more productive for both you and your client.
Yeah. Now, do you find an issue with landscapers not really using websites, or just having kind of a poor website, or not even have a website at all?
Yeah, you know, so over the last 11 years, I've worked with over 700 clients throughout the United States, and I've personally audited hundreds of landscaping websites, and many of them are not very good. And you know, they have thin content; they don't have much content at all. The photos are bad. Some of them have odd technical problems and things. And many landscapers think, well, I've gotten most of my business from word of mouth, therefore no one uses the internet, or I don't need this. So a lot of websites are bad, and people don't understand the actual problems that a bad website can cause for them. An example is I had a client in California where the you know, to go and meet with a client is several hours of driving. I mean, I couldn't imagine living in California. And so he's spending hours and hours meeting with people who wanted services he doesn't even offer anymore. And when we did his audit, I said, well, you've got photos of these and even coupons for these. He was offering $100 off like patio walkways. And he's like, I don't want to do just patio walkway only. And it's like, well, your website says that. So guess what? He got a negative Yelp review because he went out to a client and said, no, I don't do projects that are just this small anymore. And they even posted a screenshot of the brochure that he had been mailing out. So a lot of landscapers are, yeah, they're not paying attention to their website, to their digital marketing, and they don't realize that that's one of the reasons that they might be working too much, right? They might be spending a lot of time estimating bad fit prospects.
Yeah. And I always tell our people in our academy that having a website is so important. Having a good one is even better, because nowadays everybody goes online to search for anything, whether you're looking for a plumber or something that you want to purchase. Everybody goes online.
Even if you have positive word of mouth, they're going to be like, but are they really real? Let's go look online.
Yeah. And they're gonna look at your reviews. They're gonna look at your website, and they're gonna they could learn how to buy from you. And you could set them up for a very positive buying experience or not, right? You could just say, oh, here's a bulleted list of services, and they don't know what to expect. So
yeah. So one thing I think is unique about Rambling Jackson is the process that you put your customers through and you know, to get set up on a website. You mind going over that?
Yeah, you know, so at Rambling Jackson, people really like working with us for three reasons. One is that we know the green industry. I used to work at a plant nursery and garden center. You may have been there in the Chicago area. I know you're in Indiana, so not too far away. Yep. But I worked at Pesci's Plant Nursery. Really interesting family company. They were from Luxembourg and moved here, I think, in the 40s. And I think that it's really just an interesting family history of the plants that they grew. And at one point it was like a general store. They sold like everything. Anyway, so I worked at that garden center, and we understand landscaping, gardening, tree care, the different, you know, green industry trades. The second thing is that we actually write the text for you. And I'll talk about our process. because a lot of landscapers don't like writing the text. They don't write much of it, and then they get bad leads. And then the third thing is that we help people. We work exclusively. We have a program, our Wild Frontier program, where we only take on one landscaper per area. So the process that we go through to do the writing of the text for clients is kind of a lot like this podcast interview. We do our meetings over Zoom and we record them. And I've developed a series of questions over the last decade that really help business owners clarify why they're different and from their competitors. Most landscapers will write things like, we've been in business for 20 years. We won the XYZ award and we do quality work. And it's like, yeah, you and every other landscaper says that. But when we talk with them and get them talking about how they actually operate their company, we find out why they're really different. And through recording it, we transcribe it and edit the content for their website. So we know all the keywords through this process of helping them figure out what people Google, but more importantly, what makes them different. So that's how we make a website where, let's pretend I get a referral to 2 or 3 landscapers and I land on, a Ramblin' Jackson client. That website's going to sell why they're different. But the process ultimately is meant to leverage the time for the landscaper, because all of my clients are busy. They're all understaffed. They're working long hours, and we've designed the process to use as little of their time as possible to produce a really quality digital asset for them.
Yeah, and I think that's huge. Like you talk about the USP, like the unique selling, and I think that's huge. And that's, landscapers do not do that. Like you said, that's my father did the same thing. We just do quality work. We come in there on time. Like everybody does.
Well, nobody's going to say you do bad work, and I think doing quality work should just be the minimum, right? I mean, nobody should be doing crappy work.
Yeah, it's kind of baseline that you're going to show up and do a good job,
right?
You
shouldn't be bragging about this.
The unique selling position. So another challenge that I hear from a lot of landscapers when I ask them about sales and marketing is, price. I always lose on price. And I recently read a book by Dan Kennedy. It's called The No BS Guide to Profit and Pricing, something like that.
I know.
I learned in his book that only 20% of people, for only 20% is price the number one and most important thing. So that means 80% of the marketplace will pay more for value. Now, I think you can weed out the price shoppers on that first call and find out, we're looking for 7 quotes and we're going to pick the cheapest. Okay, great. We're probably not a fit. Mm-hmm. Don't even go and bid that one. But the other 80%, this is where your website can help you, is by helping people understand why you're different and why your unique selling position. What is the extra value that's worth paying more for? If people understand that, they will pay more to an extent, right? You can't get away with charging 500% more, but if you're the top of the estimates that they're getting, but they perceive you be the best, then you're more likely to close that.
Oh yeah, I think people are willing to pay for good work done right and quality, because I always keep my sister in mind as the perfect landscaping avatar, because they're in their mid 40s, they've got some money to spend and they just want good work and they want it done well, and they're willing to pay for the landscaper that proves and can show that they can do it right, and all of the things that you do with the website and with how you sell, that all plays right into that. So.
Well, and some landscapers, and it depends where you are regionally and what kind of landscaping you're getting. These projects might be 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, $100,000. I have some clients I've worked with people who do $1 million projects, but if you're selling something, if you're going to buy something that's north of $10,000, you're going to want to read about it and research it and understand what you're getting. And so often landscapers don't write enough on their website. And so what do people do? They go somewhere else on the internet to get it. And guess what? Who's that going to be? Home Advisor, Houzz, I don't know, the gardening section of Lowe's website. Like, do you really want those people educating your customer about the price or the process or, what's going to happen in a landscape? I think when you are the source of that information, you're going to establish that trust, and then they'll have a more realistic expectation of what they're buying.
Sure. Now, one thing too I like about your firm is that you guys go beyond just building the website too. You actually will help them with their sales calls and, how do they answer the phone and everything, right?
Yeah. So, part of our mission at Ramblin' Jackson is helping small businesses ring the bell. And so helping small businesses ring the bell could mean different things. For some people, it could be breaking $1 million in revenue. That's really fun, helping people do that. It could be hiring someone. It could be maybe they want to increase their average job size, for overall projects. Whatever it is, it's typically more than just a website. And what I've found over the years is that we would produce this, we'd do search engine optimization, branding, the website, and clients would get leads. And we would follow up with our client and say, hey, I saw you got these 5 leads through the website contact form over the weekend. How'd it go? Oh, we got to follow up with those. And it's like, yeah, you've got to follow up with those.
Please
like
do.
you've got to follow up right away. And so we started working with people. And one of the problems that I observed was that a lot of landscape companies will have an office manager, or they'll have someone answering the phone, and this person will typically just schedule an appointment for the owner, for a lead designer, project manager, whoever that person is. And I started learning that often that person doesn't really know enough about the business. They don't know about budget or about the time frame for the services. They're kind of just, well, great, Larry's available tomorrow, and then they send Larry out for an hour round trip drive to meet with somebody who has no idea what they're meeting about.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
totally
when
did this.
well, and you're busy and you're like, oh, I need someone to answer the phone, and then they do, and it can kind of make things worse, honestly, if you don't fix that sales problem. Like, doing more marketing can make it worse. If you don't fix that sales problem, you're just going to have more appointments.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that we work with people on. And one of the things that we also have is a mastermind, where I will meet with some of our top clients over Zoom, and we talk about what's working, what are challenges. And because we have exclusive clients, people are meeting with owners of companies that are nowhere near them in competing with them. They're from around the country, and they share things. So we're constantly learning about what's working in sales, what's working in estimates, all of these different things.
So do you have any suggestions for somebody who's just getting started, maybe a year or two in business? They know they need to do a website. Do you have any suggestions on what they can do to get going?
Well, the first thing is I did write the book, Get Found Online, The Local Business Owner's Guide to Digital Marketing. And I would recommend that your audience read that book, because it can help business owners understand what needs to be on the website. It doesn't mean that they're going to be building it or getting way into the details of coding something. I don't even get into that technical stuff, but more from a strategy standpoint, I think it's important that small business owners in general, and definitely landscapers, understand, even at a high level or a basic level, how it all works, because you should be getting reviews, and it should be part of your process that every customer gets asked for a review, right? Because if you're the most reviewed in your town, you're going to close more referrals. Like Katie said, your referrals are going to be skeptical of you. What are they going to do? They're going to Google you. And if they see you have 50 Google reviews and the other referral they got has 3 and they're negative and they didn't even reply, it's like, well, let's call this company first, right? So I think that understanding at a high level how it all works is important. I thought about this as when I was preparing for your show. I think the most important thing for people to do is to clarify what I call your hell yes customer. And so your hell yes customer is when the phone rings, you're like, hell yes, we can help you with this. Because a lot of landscape companies, and I think you kind of have to go through this phase of business. I know I did in order to figure out what I want to do now. But they kind of take on every job and they do everything outside. And oh yeah, we do poison ivy removal. Yeah, we can spread some mulch, and okay, well, what jobs are really profitable to you? What do you actually want? What size are they? And when you start focusing on that with your website and your marketing and asking for referrals, hey, by the way, we specialize in patios. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Now you start getting more referrals and asking for a certain thing. Doesn't mean you're going to stop taking on the smaller projects if they get referred to you or whatever. But that would be the first thing that I would recommend for people is to really clarify, what do you want? And it's often one of the hardest things to do.
It
So
is.
I think that, looking back at past jobs, looking at the profitability at it, did you like doing it? Did your crews enjoy doing it? Are you proud of the work? That can help point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because that's one thing we did in our landscape business was, we did everything for the longest time. And then we finally started niching down and getting into, we did hardscapes and water features. That was our thing. That's what we had on the side of our truck, water hardscape and water feature specialist. And that's the main thing we focused on.
And so when you made that shift in your business and started putting that on your trucks, what changed for you in your business?
We actually started getting more of those jobs because people saw it, found us, and then we started getting more higher end jobs, which was our end goal. That's what we wanted to go to, because we did a lot of work originally for contractors, for building contractors, I should say, and then we wanted to get into higher end homes, because this was like in 2008, 7, 8 when the market crashed. We're starting to crash, so we started seeing we need to change our focus, and once we started doing that, it just kind of created a snowball effect and really helped us.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are afraid to niche down because they think, oh, well, that means I won't get to do the pool landscaping or whatever it is. And what I've found is you still get just as many leads for the other things that you do, but you just get way more leads for the focus that you're putting out there.
Yeah, because we still did other things, but then we could be a lot pickier and choosier with that. It's like, this job's $5,000. We don't have the time to put in our schedule. We could just bump that to like another landscaper in the area to help them out. We could be like, hey, we don't have time for this in our schedule. We don't really want to do this. Okay, here you go. Hand it off to somebody else. Pick and choose.
Absolutely.
You actually have a summit coming up. Do you mind talking about that?
Yeah. So in November on I'm going to screw up the date here. So let me pull up the calendar it's on Thursday, November 19th. We're doing the first annual Landscapers Modern Sales and Marketing Summit. This is going to be a full day virtual event, and it's going to be highly interactive. We're going to actually mail people a workbook with that we're going to coach them through, where we're going to go through the Hell Yes customer. We're going to go through your sales process. And I'm actually going to send people a do-it-yourself video kit. I actually was just using this a minute ago, where I've been making videos on my iPhone with some basic microphone equipment for the last 10 years. And I'm going to help landscaper. I'm going to send them this kit and help them make a video that they send to their clients before that first meeting, so they understand the timeline, the budget range, what to expect, and that can save people a lot of money. So that summit is it is a paid event. We're taking on a limited number of guests because there's also going to be a live mastermind, and so we want it to be hands-on and personal. We do have a promo code for audiences of the $1 Million Landscaper. If you go to landscapersummit.com and use the promo code MILLION, you can't save $1 million, but you can save $100. So everyone, again, for your listening, it's landscapersummit.com and the promo code is MILLION, and you can save $100.
We'll link that up in the show notes so everybody can get it. So it looks fun. I just watched the YouTube video for it today. So it looks good.
I'm excited to see that. And
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you're sending the equipment out and you're giving the whole workbook so they can go through step by step. Like, I don't really.
Who doesn't want to get stuff in the mail? That's amazing.
Well, I mean, this year I think we've all had more Zoom meetings than we'd like to have in a lifetime.
Right.
And so what I don't want to do is another boring webinar. And it's going to be very interactive. You're going to get a print workbook. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, we're going to send you beef jerky, all kinds of cool stuff. And it's going to be very interactive. So you're going to fill stuff out and actually get some work done.
Nice.
That way you can, if you're a CEO of a company and you have marketing people, or you have that person answering your phone who doesn't understand what to do, I'm going to help you create a one sheet that you can give to the front desk person that's like, hey, this is what we do. You should say no to these projects. Really simple, one page can save you a lot of profit from, going out and meeting with people who aren't going to be a fit. So yeah, check it out, landscapersummit.com.
Yep, we'll definitely have that in the show notes. So, well, Jack, we appreciate you taking the time to come on here today. We have a couple fun questions for you. You mind answering those?
Let's do it.
Okay. What is your favorite thing that you've bought this year?
What's the favorite thing that I've bought?
Yeah. Anything good?
I think it's this Garmin watch. I got a Garmin. I think it's a Phoenix 5.
Okay.
And when COVID started, we actually went fully remote. My company's been around for 11 years. I have about 10 employees. They're all throughout the country. And I had a really big, expensive office for a while. We closed it last September, went remote, and I found myself just on the computer all the time. And I wanted to get a Garmin watch to start tracking walking and running. And that led me to well, this is easy. It kind of propelled me to start hiking and weightlifting and all these things. So
nice.
I wasn't expecting to just change my lifestyle so much after getting this watch, but just seeing those metrics and how much I'm sleeping is another metric that I look at. So that's probably my favorite thing that I've bought this year.
No, that's fun. I get it because I wear an Apple Watch for the same thing. If I don't have it on and I walk the dog, I'm like, this doesn't even count. It's not even counting my steps.
Count.
Why am I doing this? So no, right. I get it.
Exactly.
Yep, I like it. Have you ever had a weird Uber experience? I've never even been in an Uber, so I feel kind of not cool right now.
So I can't say that I had a weird Uber experience, but one time when I was 15, I snuck down to Chicago on the L with some of my friends, and we were out late, and we were it was really late, and I remember we got in a taxi, and there was this guy, I don't know what language he was speaking, but he had this headset on, and he was shouting, arguing with someone while he was driving the car. And had all of these gadgets and things, and it was just terrifying. So that's probably the closest thing to a strange Uber ride.
Yeah,
Nice.
Well, that pre-Uber. Yeah, I don't know how long Uber's been around, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this was a long time
back
ago.
in the day. Okay, last one. You have $100,000 to donate or create a charity. What do you do?
I've been thinking about this lately, and I would probably donate it somewhere in my hometown, or not my hometown. Yeah, my hometown of Lyons.
Okay.
There's because I think that I've just seen this, the town of Lyons, and there's the Lyons Emergency Fund, and they just get money to people who need it really quickly. And so I think that, keeping the money local sometimes just keeps it going faster to people who need it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I had thought about, and maybe I'll come up with some sort of national thing at some point, but I've just in general have found that, I don't know, that keeping it local helps help your local community.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone did that, we'd all be fine.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I like it. I like it a lot because, Scott was a volunteer fireman before he was a full-time fireman. I volunteer a lot in our church, just playing music and stuff like that. So we try to do a lot, locally.
What instrument do you play?
Oh, the mountain dulcimer. and handbells.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know
Cool.
you're a big country fan, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love country music and bluegrass. I play mandolin.
Oh, really? Oh, if we were only
Yeah.
closer, we could use a mandolin player in our. We have a little group that plays. We've got a couple dulcimers, some ukuleles, and one girl plays a guitar. We've got a fiddle player. So
Wow.
Is there anything you want to add today?
One other thing for everyone who's listening is to check out my podcast, The Landscaper's Guide to Modern Sales and Marketing. And we actually have an episode and a worksheet that you can download with it. If you go to ramblinjackson.com/hellyes, it's the Hell Yes customer worksheet. And
nice.
even if you're just starting out or you're really advanced or wherever you are, I think, again, clarifying what do you want, and this can change this year because of COVID. It could change.
Right.
You might have a change in supply. You could have a change in your staff. I think that going through this exercise at least every year can really help you stay on target with what you want next. So check that out at ramblinjackson.com/hellyes.
All right, will do.
All right.
Thanks so much for being on with us today.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.